This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Louisville, Colorado. We are here at the Salt Spa. Since 2010, they have been providing holistic respiratory treatment in a natural and safe environment. I am here with the owner, co-owners. Thank you, folks, for joining us so much today. Let's begin with you. Doctor, you basically are a family medical doctor, certified, board certified in holistic complementary medicine. Since 1999, you've been involved in this industry. Share with me a little bit of how this got started for you.
Well, I started out working as a family practitioner, and very quickly I realized that I really wasn't helping the majority of people I was seeing, because the majority of people who come in with chronic, low-grade issues that Western medicine doesn't have a really good treatment for: headaches, constipation, irritable bowel syndrome. These chronic things, really, we can only medicate them to remove symptoms. We really can't help them or reverse them or figure out why they're happening to the person. So that's kind of what got me interested in finding another way to treat people.
Basically, the discovery can go all the way back to the early 1800s when it was discovered in a salt mine that there were some effects being done to the respiratory system. Is that basically the starting point and the basis for what we've started here?
Absolutely. Polish doctor noticed in the late 1800s that the men who worked in the Polish salt caves were the only segment of the population that never had any type of respiratory disease.
And quite honestly, our viewers have heard of putting salt on their food for taste, but we're talking about inhaling salt. Share with us how that takes place in this environment.
Well, what halotherapy is it's recreating the environment of a salt cave. In Poland and Eastern Europe, they have many salt mines, and these men used to go all the way down into the salt mines and mine the salt out. And so if you keep mining salt out of a cave, eventually you end up with a cave-like structure. What happens in that microenvironment is that you have microscopic particles of salt in the air, you have a constant temperature and a constant humidity. And when you recreate that environment and you breathe in the inhaled salt particles in that microenvironment, it has an anti-inflammatory effect on the respiratory tract. It seems to have an electrical effect on getting the cilia, which are the little hairs in our respiratory tract, to start moving up. So it actually starts to mobilize the mucus, liquefy and mobilize the mucus, so you start bringing things up. It helps with an anti-inflammatory effect. It helps to dilate the airways so that you can get more air into your lungs. It has multiple of these effects that have been really quite well studied since the 100 years ago when the Polish doctor discovered it.
Interesting. So basically, like a day that we spend next to the seashore, there's a lot more going on than just a day of relaxation. We've got a lot going on as we breathe this in. Now, are they breathing in this from the actual walls and the floor, or is some of this being actually pumped in?
Well, the walls and the floor add a certain component. They add the stability, the humidity. They also have an aesthetic appeal. However, 90% of the benefit of halotherapy is coming from the generator. The generator is actually crushing the salt into very, very microscopic particles and blowing it into the air. So what you're really breathing in are those very microscopic particles of salt, and the smaller they are, the further they're going to go down into your respiratory tract. The bigger ones get stuck in the nasal cavity and the sinuses. So really, if you sit in the salt cave, some people worry about how much salt am I getting. You're really only coming out after maybe eating one potato chip. That's how much salt you're really getting.
What you basically have here is a negative ion environment. Is that a feeling of well-being, not only respiratory, but throughout the body?
Yeah, negative ion environments have been really well studied. They're similar to a rainforest, being by a large body of water like a waterfall. So we know that these places in nature that people just feel good in tend to be negative ion environments. And so what we're doing is we're recreating a negative ion environment, which actually is really good for the respiratory tract. It's really good for people in general. And so that's sort of a recreation. And there's a lot of research on negative ion environments and how they seem to relax the nervous system and put you into this nice, relaxed place.
This nice, relaxed place. Let's go there a little bit. Share with us the treatment, if you will. How long are we talking about that we're staying in?
So the sessions are anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes.
Okay.
We have a lot of our clients who actually get so relaxed so quickly that the number one comment we get from the majority of our clients is that the hour went by much too fast.
Interesting.
So we've set it up to where as long as we have the space in our facility, we allow people to stay for more than one session. We allow them to stay for double sessions, and we never charge any extra for that second session. And for many, many of our clients, they've grown accustomed to only coming in when they can stay for those 2 hours because it's a time for them to step away from what's happening in their daily lives. The sessions are quiet. People either sleep, read, or meditate, and most people fall asleep within 15, 20 minutes. They're out, and this is one of the best sleeps they get during the day.
So, I mean, basically, as an adult, they are sitting in a comfortable lounge chair, and normally, like you say, 45 minutes. What about for children? Obviously, this is safe. It's drug-free. So, what are children able to do during that time?
So we have two separate rooms. We have an adult room that's a quiet room, and then we also have a children's room. In the children's room, the parents, guardian, whoever it is that's bringing the child in will go in, and we have toys set up, and the kids are able to play in an environment that looks like a big sandbox, except instead of sand, they're playing with salt. And we've got toys, buckets, trucks. If they want to go in and just read with their parents, they can do so as well. But the kids are actually getting therapy without knowing that they're getting therapy because they're getting the exact same therapy that's taking place in the adult room. Each of the rooms has its own halo generator that's creating that negative that 1 to 10 micron particle size into the room, so they're getting the exact same treatment. And typically, kids' room sessions are 45 to 50 minutes, and that's about as long as a child is willing to go in and play with the salt for.
When folks walk out, do they feel differently? What are the long-term effective results that they're able to discover?
So depending on what they're coming in for is going to dictate what the feeling is when they walk out. As an example, if you have somebody that's coming in who is a very serious asthmatic, they're relying on steroidal medications to get through their day. The worse off people are when they come in, the faster they'll see results. So generally people who come in who are very congested, have serious sinusitis, very, very bad asthma, they are the ones that are seeing results quicker. For people that are coming in strictly for relaxation, maybe just a cough, cold, something like that, they may not see as profound an effect within 1 or 2 sessions, but they will still come out feeling generally healthier and more relaxed. We had a woman probably in her 50s or so who'd been asthmatic since she was 4 years old. When she came to us highly skeptical, letting us know that she had tried every other modality out there and none of them had worked for her. After doing about 24 to 30 sessions of the Salt Spa, which is what Dr. Desai recommended, she went from using her steroids 3 times a day to maybe using them once a week. So that was a huge quantum leap for her. And what she was able to do is use the Salt Spa as a non-drug control for her condition.
Doctor, you're uniquely qualified to really blend the Eastern teachings, if you will, with modern-day Western medicine. Is that part of the reason for the success that you've been able to attain here in Colorado?
I think so. I'm always looking for things that I feel will really work. So I'm always researching and looking at new novel therapies. When I found this therapy and really researched it and looked into it, I realized it was the perfect therapy for Colorado because we have very dry air. It's windy here, and we have a fair amount of pollution in the Denver metro area. So sinusitis, asthma, we have astronomical proportions of those diseases. And this is just a great therapy for people in this area.
So as you say, the climate's not perfect for respiratory here in Colorado. Yeah. What you're creating is a microclimate, yes, right within 4 walls here for them. Is that a microclimate that is available at both of your locations?
Yes, it is. We have an adult and a children's salt spa in Lakewood, Colorado, and we have one here in Louisville, Colorado. So both locations have the exact same halo generators, comfortable chairs, similar environments. They're both identical. Yes.
Wonderful. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see, first of all, is their website. On the website, you're going to learn more about their staff as well as their services. Basically, since 1999, she has been blending the medicine of both different worlds here. And in 2010, brought on a whole new treatment after much study, I would imagine. You're going to see some testimonials on there. This is safe not only for children, but for adults as well. And obviously, respiratory is the number one ailment that people walk out with. But quite honestly, this is a holistic approach to medicine of feeling better overall.
Absolutely. There's just a lot of people who come in simply because they want to do a detox. And this is a wonderful way to clean the respiratory tract of any pollens, viruses, anything like that. We just have people who come in simply because they've heard about us, they want to experience it, and they come out feeling much better.
Wonderful. Our intended topic today was that of the Salt Spa, which is the reason I sought you out for the show here. But share with us, just to touch on lightly, some of the other treatments you're able to provide here, like that of PEMF.
We have various, again, well-researched therapies that I feel really work. One is PEMF. It's pulsed magnetic field therapy. Really good for pain control, for sports injuries, recovering from fractures. It's FDA approved. We also do lymphatic enhancement therapy, which is working on the lymph, which is actually your immune system. By enhancing it, you're enhancing your immune system. It's also enhancing your detoxification pathways. Wow. And we do a form of neurointegration or neurofeedback that really is great for children with ADD, ADHD, autism, great for older people who feel like they're losing their memory, focus, concentration, as well as issues that are psychological like anxiety and depression.
This has to be rewarding for the both of you, knowing that you're providing relief for people who walk in here and have had ailments maybe for years. Is that the part of it that really makes it enjoyable for you?
Oh, absolutely. We've taken a lot of people either completely off of their medications and now they're using natural drug-free alternatives. They're using this as a non-drug control for their conditions. We've seen a lot of children whose parents came in and told us that the next step for these kids was to be hospitalized for their respiratory issues. And by using the Salt Spa on a repeated basis, we've been able to get them back to normalcy, so to speak, and kept them out of the hospitals.
Alan, basically right now we're scrolling across the screen many of the symptoms that people are able to walk in with and find some relief. Share with me some of the ones that are most common for you that you've seen in the past.
Sure. So I would say 40% of the people who come to the Salt Spa come in for asthma, 40% come in for sinusitis, which seem to be the two biggest issues for people in Colorado. And then the rest is everything from simple common allergies, coughs, colds. We see a lot of chronic cough. We've treated many people with COPD. We actually have people that are able to come in with their oxygen into the salt room who have COPD. And we've also treated children with cystic fibrosis. So we see everything from common coughs and colds all the way to very serious asthmatics and people with chronic sinusitis who maybe have been suffering for over 20, 30 years.
And like we said, we're seeing a lot of symptoms there, but you really aren't treating the symptoms here. You're really treating the person holistically, in general, so it's overall health.
The Salt Spa is much more of a spa. So it's a therapy that people can come in and partake of. It doesn't have any side effects. So there's really no risks for people to come in here and see if it would work for them. They're not really seeing me as a physician. They can continue to see their own doctors. It's really just a therapy. Doesn't harm you in any way, could help you, has some researched benefits, and we just encourage people to come in and give it a try and see if it would help them.
Kind of exciting for you. You spent years researching, finding out about it before you brought it here publicly. Now those same results you've provided for folks out there, is that rewarding for you?
Oh, absolutely. It's fun to do what we do, and as opposed to keeping people dependent on us, our idea is let's get people better. Let's get them out there feeling good and able to do things. And that's really what my whole practice is about. It's about empowering people to feel healthy and know that they can heal themselves. So
heal themselves. Take a look at the bottom of the screens. The last time you're going to see their website right there, as well as their contact information. And that is the Salt Spa since 2010. Breathe, heal, and rejuvenate. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.